By the end of this video, you'll understand how to increase lead flow on your website without increasing your traffic. So picture this, a homeowner lands on your site, they're intrigued, they like what they see, but then nothing. They bounce, and you never hear from them. Why is that? Because they didn't want to click Contact Us. They weren't ready to talk to sales, but they were ready for something, and your website didn't give them that option. Today, we're going to fix that. Hey, I'm Spencer Powell, I'm the CEO at BuilderFunnel, and we help remodelers and custom builders grow revenue with strategic marketing and smart sales systems. If you're tired of leads that ghost or pages that don't convert, this video is for you. So let's get into it. First, we're going to look at a simple marketing funnel. So, most websites, you have traffic that comes in, and you capture a very small percentage of that traffic. But we can solve that by appealing to everybody that's coming to your website. And so what we need to understand is that traffic coming into your website really is in one of two different buckets. And so we need to divide our marketing funnel into these two buckets. And so up top here, we have what's called our researching bucket. And then down here, we have those leads and prospects who are ready. So we have researching and ready. Everyone that comes into your website, you've got people coming in from social media, you've got people coming in from Google Ads, you have people coming in from organic Google or AI. They saw a truck, they saw a sign, it doesn't matter. They're coming into your website, they're either researching or they're ready. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is only 4% of people. This is 96%. And so if your website is only built to capture those that are ready for a conversation, then you're missing out on 96% of people. And so we need to have what's called a two-door strategy. And so door number one is right here. Awesome door. Door number two is here. And so we need to create an opportunity for these people that are researching to step into your world and walk through this door. You probably already have this door. You have a Contact Us page or something like that, a phone number that they can call. But this is where all the opportunity is, because people that are in this phase will soon be in this phase. It's just going to be days, weeks, or months later. And so if we miss these people, then we really have to hope that we bring them back when they're ready. So we have researching and ready. So we're going to use a two-door strategy. And the way we bring people in that are researching is through a lead magnet. And so a lead magnet is something that provides value, solves a potential problem or part of a problem, answers a question for somebody that is researching. And so if you think about somebody that is coming to your website, they have, of all the millions of websites on the internet, they landed on your site in your local market. They're there for a reason. And if they're not here and they're browsing around, then we can assume that, hey, they might be looking into a potential future project, like a kitchen or a bathroom or an addition. We have no clue at this point, but we do know that they're researching and they're browsing around. And so we need to offer them something in exchange for their information. So that would be a lead magnet. Typically this would be something like a cost guide, some sort of downloadable, it could be a quiz, but they're going to receive information in exchange for filling out a form. And so when we think about a lead magnet, we really want to use the most compelling thing that we can do to capture the highest percentage of these people. And so this I think of as singular, meaning we want one lead magnet that captures the highest percentage of researchers. Now, you may have to test different lead magnets. You might have to test, a cost guide versus a design guide versus a style quiz versus you could think of a million different things. Here at Builder Funnel, we've tested lots of different things, and our current highest performing lead magnet is still the cost guide. Now, that may change in the future, but right now you can just copy us. We've already tried a whole bunch of stuff. This one converts the best, and that's still because people want to know how much is this going to cost, and especially if it is local, if it actually has details that are relevant and accurate to the local city, but even better, it could be based on local neighborhoods and even more hyper-local information. But the more specific this is to your city, the areas that you serve, the more compelling it is, and people will trade. So when they arrive on your website, we need to have a lead magnet so we can capture researchers. Now, let's talk about ready, and then we'll talk about more specifically what do you do to actually take somebody that comes to your website and get them to fill out this form. Down here, we have what are called on-ramps, and these are on-ramps to the sales process. And so up here, we noted that this is singular. We want the best converting lead magnet that we can possibly have so that we can capture the most amount of leads in this bucket. In terms of ready, we want multiple options, multiple mediums, right? So if somebody prefers to call, we want a phone number. If they prefer to just book a meeting directly, then we could have a meeting scheduler. If they want to fill out a contact us form or schedule a consultation form, then we want to have that too. So this, we want multiple on-ramps to sales. We want one of our best converting lead magnets. And that will enable us to capture the highest percentage overall of traffic that's coming into the website. So lead magnets are for researchers, on-ramps are for those that are ready to talk to sales. So they can come as traffic is coming through your website. They're going to walk through door number 1 or door number 2, and we want to make sure we capture some information. Now, when we zoom in on your website and we're looking at the actual page of the website, so let's draw a nice website page up here. So you've got your kind of header and navigation, and then you've got the core part of the page. When somebody lands on this, they can usually see this part of it, which this is called above the fold. And so this is, they can only see what's down here below the fold if they scroll. And so it's important that we put our calls to action for our lead magnet and our on-ramps above the fold. And so you might have at the beginning, if this is your home page, you might have 2 buttons here, and one might be download our cost guide and one might be schedule a consultation. But we have those prominent and above the fold. As you scroll down and you have more content here, and this would keep going depending on the page and what you're covering, you can still insert multiple calls to action as you continue to go down, so that as somebody gets deeper into the process, that we always are making it obvious and easy for them to take the next step. Now, if this is for a lead magnet, this is going to go to a landing page. And on this landing page, we're going to have, our logo. We're going to remove the navigation. And then right here, we're going to have a really compelling headline. And then we're going to have some bullet points and kind of a summary of what to do. And then right here, we're going to have our form. And on the form, we're going to ask for, name, email, phone number, and maybe some qualifying questions. Now, this form and the way we use our lead magnet, depending on what your goal is, you can reduce the fields on your form to either capture more leads. So if you just ask for first name and email, you will get more people to fill this out. If you ask for first name, last name, email, phone number, and then a couple of qualifiers like what project are you thinking about, or what's your budget for your project you're thinking about, you will have less people fill it out, but most likely they are more qualified. So you can play around with form length. But the key here is if somebody clicks on this button that takes them to the lead magnet, we take them to a landing page, really compelling headline and bullets, and a form, depending on our goals, will be shorter or longer. When they fill out that form, we're going to take them to a success page that then has an on-ramp. And so you'll have another page just like this, and it'll say, awesome, here's your cost guide. By the way, if you ever want to talk, schedule a consultation here, and you can have a form or a meeting scheduler right here, or a phone number. You can offer all those options. So this goes to another page, and we take lead magnet to on-ramp. As a bonus, when somebody fills out this form, you can trigger a little chain of emails that will go out over the coming days and weeks, and those can deliver more information, project spotlight page, a link to a blog post, a link to your process, a link to a testimonial, and then you can always in the PS say, oh, by the way, if you ever want to talk to us about your project, click here, and they can book a consultation, schedule a meeting right there. You can offer the phone number. And so this is how we pull people down this funnel from researching to ready, is we say, okay, you've hit our website. I don't know where you are, so I'm going to give you both options. I'm going to convert the most amount of people I possibly can. And then if you're in this bucket, I'm going to deliver you value, and then I'm going to stay in touch with you and deliver you more value until you're ready to on-ramp to sales. So if you have a website right now and you're getting traffic, most likely you can get way more leads than you're getting right now by implementing this two-door strategy. We want to make sure that you have a really compelling lead magnet to capture those that are researching. Multiple options for on-ramps to sales, and then go through every single one of your pages. So this may be your home page. You probably have service pages, you have about pages, you have blog posts. Every page needs to have two doors. Because if somebody does a Google search, they click on an ad, they find you in ChatGPT, and they come to your website, they might land on your homepage, but they might land directly on a blog. They might land directly on a project spotlight page. And so the first place they land could be anywhere on your website, and we want to make sure they have two doors. They can go in through the researching door, or they can go in through the ready door. So if you want more leads from your existing traffic, go through your entire website and make sure you have calls to action for a lead magnet and multiple on-ramps on every single page, and you might be able to double or triple your lead flow from existing traffic. All right, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.